Welcome back to our second half hour. Drug enforcement agents are calling this bust in Berlin and New London significant. As we've reported, more than 2 pounds of cocaine and 18 pounds of marijuana were seized last week. But how much difference will that actually make? Fox 11's Chad Doran has some new details today.
The pictures of the drug bust only tell part of the story.
Even for this area, it's a fairly significant seizure.
Investigators say Jose Fernandez was arrested by undercover agents in Berlin after agreeing to sell them a kilogram of cocaine for $36,000. His home was searched, where local and state authorities say they found 18 pounds of high-grade marijuana and $21,000 in cash. Cortney Gulbrandsen lives next door to Fernandez. She says she wasn't surprised when she saw investigators at the house.
In the past, there was some things that had happened, but I thought it had stopped. So it, I guess, was continuing.
But both she and her neighbor across the street were surprised at the amount of drugs agents seized.
Pretty surprised, you know, especially when you hear that much. It's just crazy, you know, I mean, wow.
Brad Dunlap with the Lake Winnebago Area Metropolitan Enforcement Group says while significant, the impact of the bust may not last long.
I'd be lying to you if I said that's going to make a long-term impact in and of itself.
But he says what will make a long-term difference is disrupting the supply chain of drugs in northeast Wisconsin.
We have succeeded in driving the big business, the large-scale profiteers, underground.
Dunlap says the amount of cocaine recovered is unusual for our area, but he says the amount of marijuana involved in this bust is becoming all too commonly seen in northeast Wisconsin.
Millions of dollars worth of product, tens of thousands of plants that were grown on state land. That was sort of the higher quality marijuana that is then, you know, being distributed, some here and some is being exported to other Midwestern states.
And while these drugs are off the street, it's the drugs law enforcement doesn't catch.
There's a lot more out there than what we seize.
That has neighbors in small towns like New London concerned.
I really need to speak with my son, reiterate that drugs are something you cannot touch. You need to let an adult know.
In New London, Chad Doran, Fox 11 News.
Fernandez has been charged with manufacturing and delivering cocaine in Green Lake County.